This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Marcum MicroCap Conference 2015 in New York City. I have with me David Goldstein of Potbotics, Inc. It's a private company. David, welcome to SNNLive.
It's a pleasure to be here, Shelley. Thank you for introducing me.
It's good to have you. So let's find out the story about Potbotics.
Absolutely. Potbotics is a software and technology company that's really paving the path for going from nutraceutical to pharmaceutical. So what that means is that we do very, very advanced data mining on the industry. We help quantify the effects of cannabis in order to better recommend it to patients. And we also have a recommendation engine so that patients could really take the questions out of the cannabis selection process.
So, from what I know about cannabis, nutraceuticals, into pharmaceuticals, consistency is a major issue.
Absolutely.
What's your comment on that?
Well, we take a fundamentally different approach to recommending cannabis. Right now, there is issues with potency testing, but by educating patients on the molecular structure of cannabis, those cannabinoids that actually account for the medical benefits like THC and CBD, it helps them better understand where the therapeutic value of cannabis comes from so that they could have a more transparent purchasing process.
Who's your customer?
Our customer is dispensaries, patients, baby boomers, newcomers, patients that are currently stuck in a trial and error process that want to better understand where the therapeutic effects of cannabis comes from. But on a larger level, we're really a partner for biotechnology companies looking to enter into a more pharmaceutical side of the space, and also contract research organizations that would love to get their hands on some of this data.
So if you had to give me a couple of sentences on the state of your industry, what would that be?
Well, I would say that as recreational marijuana spreads across the United States, it's imperative that we're able to differentiate between medical and recreational cannabis recommendations. So the state of the industry is currently one where medical cannabis laws are being adapted, and it's our responsibility to service those patients with the proper education and protocol to make it a professional medical examination.
How long will it be before we have prescribed pharmaceutical grade marijuana?
It's a very interesting question. Currently, the federal government has a Schedule 1 ruling on cannabis, meaning that has zero health benefits. What's interesting is that it's a very contradictory platform. The federal government owns patents on the health benefits of cannabis, in specific as a neuroprotectant. So when returning to when will we actually see pharmaceuticals based on cannabis, it's when will the federal government schedule it to Schedule 2 drugs so we can open trials here in the United States. Conservative estimates, that'll happen within 6 years. I'm optimistic that could happen by the end of 2017.
Is it going to happen in another country before it happens in the United States?
It already has. Uruguay, Israel, Brazil all have medical cannabis programs. Israel has 22,000 patients currently in their federal program, estimated 30 by the end of this year, and it is only growing internationally as the stronger scientific foundation grows.
So are you working in these other foreign countries with what you do?
Oh, absolutely. We're working with Hebrew University, we're working with the University of Amsterdam doing live tissue testing. What we're doing in the United States is doing smaller batch research to create proper protocol and proof of concept, and then doing larger studies across the world in countries where we can have a double-blind study that is approved by the federal government.
What's your background?
My background is in integrated marketing communications, did a little bit of work in project management in NYU, and then started a company out of college. That was a full agency platform for crowdfunding, and I got to work with a lot of great startups, and I felt galvanized by the plight of this industry to really come in here and help the medical cannabis patients.
So there's a lot of adoption by states legalizing marijuana.
Absolutely.
What do you think of what happened in Canada? Is that going to happen in the U.S.?
Well, Canada has a very interesting model. Canada recently, in April of 2014, changed their model from Canada really recommending cannabis to actually giving that power to doctors. I think that what we'll see in the United States is as more states take on medical cannabis legislature, we will find a nice medium spot where we do incorporate medical records, where we do leave the decision-making to the doctor. And I do hope that one year we could see this as an insurance redeemable product because these patients really need it as supplements to treatment or even possibly treatments on its own right.
So, but nutraceuticals you think are there?
Nutraceuticals are in this industry right now. There is a question of, can isolated cannabinoids or synthetic cannabinoids offer the same therapeutic value as organic cannabinoids or the entourage effect? So while nutraceuticals are here, there won't be general practitioners or doctors really adapting this type of medication until it has stronger trials in the FDA protocol sector.
So here's the question of the day. How do you make money?
It's a great question. We have revenue through each one of our products. Potbot generates revenue through an advertising model, lead generation based model. BrainBot, which is our EEG analysis, has its own model as far as running the actual test and the actual disposable helmet that we use. But it's important to remember that on a macro level, we're a data mining company, so it's the packaging of that data. So while we have short-term revenue, we do have long-term aspirations for how that revenue will grow.
So for more information, which website would you like to give out?
www.potbotics.com. All of our information is on there, as well as this amazing data feed will also be on there. I'll definitely make sure to feature it.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Goldstein, Potbotics Inc. It's a private company. I'm Shelly Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the Marcum MicroCap Conference 2015 in New York City. David?
Shelly, thank you
My
very
pleasure.
much. It was such a pleasure. Take care.